Are you letting fear stop you from starting a business? Most business owners face that same fear before they decided to take that jump. And let me tell you something, not taking action is way more risky than failing. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you've been stuck wondering should you start a business or should you not, this is the episode for you. So go ahead, subscribe, like, get in the comments. Let me know what is your biggest fear in starting a business. I genuinely want to know, because in the next episode, we're going to be talking about overnight success. Is it a myth? Can it be done? We'll see. So what are we really afraid of? Most people fear the consequences of failing. And I get it. I mean, back before I started Illo Sketchbook, that was my biggest fear. At the time, had a certain amount of money in the bank account, and starting that business, it's a product business, right? So I had to invest in inventory, and that was gonna wipe out about 80% of my savings that I've had saved for a long time, that I was trying to save for a down payment on a house, actually. And that was terrifying for me. So I definitely understand having those fears. You could also have questions like, what if it doesn't work? Or even have imposter syndrome, like who am I even to start this business? Like, what are my qualifications? But here's a stat. 33% of Americans have considered starting a business but didn't due to the fear of failure. 33%. That is 1/3 of the United States decided not to start something amazing because of fear. 33% of Americans let fear keep them away from their dreams. Let me know in the comments if you think that number is high or low. To me, 1/3 is crazy, because that's a lot. All right, so let's talk about Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey has his show Family Feud that airs on TV now. And sometimes he likes to tell his story to his audience. And there's a clip of it and it went viral. You guys probably seen it. But what he tells his audience is eventually you're going to have to take a jump. You cannot just exist in life. He says you have to live. See, because before Steve Harvey got famous, before Steve Harvey was doing comedy on tour, before he was doing any of these things, Steve Harvey was broke. He was living in his car at a time while he was doing his comedy shows. But he kept going. He didn't let that fear that he could potentially live out his entire life living that way stop him from doing his comedy shows. And look at him now. He's a multi-millionaire and he's a household name. Everybody knows who Steve Harvey is. And I think the point that he was trying to make is that everyone who is successful now had to make that jump. He said, you don't wait for the parachute to open before you take the jump. You take the jump first, and you might hit the cliffs a little bit. You might get scraped up by some bushes, but eventually that parachute opens. And that's kind of what starting a business feels like. It's terrifying. But then you realize that flying was the whole point. But guess what? Fear means you're growing. Fear is proof that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You have to stretch to grow. Fear means you care. Fear means you're doing something new. And fear means you're stretching your capacity. So I wouldn't say fear is the enemy. Not doing something because of fear is the enemy. So when I first decided to leave my 9-to-5 job, I was terrified out of my mind. I wasn't going to get consistent checks. I wouldn't have a fallback now because I was doing freelance work after my 9-to-5, right? And it started going good. So I was like, okay, I think I can do this on my own. But I wouldn't have that fallback now, right? I wouldn't have that like, oh, what if I don't have freelance jobs? I could just work my 9-to-5. I wouldn't have that anymore. So it was going to be just me, my cameras, and my family looking to me to provide. I wasn't 100% sure at all. But looking back on it now, I wish that I would have taken that jump a lot sooner. So here's the thing. You don't need to go all in one day. You just need to make one move today that's gonna make your tomorrow different. So like I said, I started freelancing after my 9 to 5, and I was building up clients. I was building up my knowledge on how to run a business. So I was working 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9. That was sort of how I started. I was like doing little things every day so that eventually I was like, I can do this full time on my own. So what do you think about some of these small step examples? You can start with one client, one offer, one product, or you can freelance like I did after work or on the weekends. You can do small practical things like launch a landing page instead of a full website. Small steps leading you to a bigger goal. And you're never not going to have fear. You're always going to have a little bit of fear. It's not about being fearless. It's about showing up even when you are unsure. So here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people feel like you need to have it all the way figured out before you jump into anything. And that's just not true at all. That idea that you need to have it all figured out before you jump into it is going to leave you broke and bitter. Some of you are probably feeling terrible right now on the inside as far as like your ambitions and your goals because you're letting fear stop you. Look, start it now and fix it as you go. It's better to be in the game than on the bench. And guess what? Everyone feels this. Every entrepreneur, every guru right now that's making millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're telling you the ways that they did it, they all had fear in the beginning. Nobody starts with full confidence. They built it through action. Here's a stat. 62% of successful entrepreneurs admitted to feeling imposter syndrome at the beginning. Now, we were talking about 1/3 earlier. That's 62% is more than half. And the other 40% are probably still feeling imposter syndrome. What I think they would say the key is not letting that stop them. Look, I've been working for myself for a long time. And even before I make these videos, I still get nervous. I still have a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, who's going to want to listen to me? I'm not sure if that'll ever go away, but I know that I'm never going to quit trying to help you guys out. So I think it's time to rewrite the narrative. Most of us were raised to chase security, stableness, comfort, house, white picket fence, family. Like, I know growing up, I think everybody in my class, everybody around me, we're supposed to get good grades, graduate from high school, go to college, get a good job doing what you love to do, stay there, raise a family, have kids, keep working until you retire, and then you die happy. A lot of us are living that life. We might love that life. And a lot of us are living that life and realizing that they want more. So we chase security. But in 2025, is there such a thing as secure? Seems like companies are laying off people left and right. We have artificial intelligence evolving at rates that, I saw an AI video last year that I was like, that's funny that they think this is gonna take my job. To today, I can't tell if a video is real or not, and I gotta look so hard to find missing fingers, and that's scary. So why not bet on you? As a matter of fact, in today's world, I would say it'd be more safe to bet on yourself and something that you build, that you have control over, than betting on an employer. This is what we do know. Working for yourself is risky, but today, depending on someone else's business, also risky. And the bottom line is freedom comes from ownership. So maybe this will help. I want to talk a little bit about perspective, because I saw this video the other day of this guy talking about fear and excitement on YouTube. I don't remember his name, so if anybody knows his name, drop it in the comments. But he was saying that the same emotions, the same feelings, physical feelings that you get in your body while you're afraid are the same emotions, feelings, and physical things happen when you're excited, for example. So when you have fear, you might get clammy hands, your heartbeat might race a little bit, You might get butterflies in your stomach. But he was saying, think about when you're in line for a roller coaster, and let's say you love roller coasters, right? Because you can be scared of roller coasters. But let's say you love roller coasters, and then you're in line and you're waiting for a roller coaster. You might still have butterflies in your stomach. Your heartbeat might be racing a little bit. You might have sweaty palms from excitement. So he was saying, what if you switch your perspective from fear to excitement? You trick your mind into saying, I'm not afraid, I'm excited. Switching your perspective from I'm afraid to I'm excited could be everything you need to pursue your dreams. So let's try sort of like a mini challenge, a little bit of homework for you guys. You can take one small action in the next 24 hours to get you closer to your goals than you were yesterday. Here's an example. You can set up a free Canva landing page. You could write down your business idea and share it with a trusted friend. You could record a video like this, introducing your future brand. Taking an action will reduce your anxiety, and the more action you take, the smaller the fear will get. So this reminds me of something. It's kind of off the wall and not sort of related to business or anything, but I used to have super crazy panic attacks at one point in my life. Like, I'm talking about, I was in a McDonald's parking lot in my car by myself, and I just felt trapped, and the panic attack set in. I felt like I was having a heart attack to the point where I had to open the door and get out of my car. Now, nobody knew what the heck was going on. They could have thought I was getting chased by bees or whatever, but internally I was just freaking out for no reason. And that's really what a panic attack is. You're just freaking out for no reason. And the things that would do this to me would be in theaters, while watching movies in theaters, meetings, lines, like at a subway line. I had panic attacks. Like, it was crazy. And I realized I had to do something about that. So one way that I tried to do that, or did, because thank God I don't have crazy panic attacks or anxiety really anymore. But what I did was I started going to these things that gave me anxiety, but in controlled scenarios. So for example, I would go to the theater or the movies weeks after the movie came out. So it was just me in there, and I can go through whatever physical things that was going on without worrying about people seeing me or me worrying about what they were thinking about me when I'm freaking out. So I would do that. I would actually go do that, knowing that's what I was doing it for. I could have already seen the movie, but I'm going to these movies just to help me get rid of these panic attacks. I would go in lines when I knew that it wasn't a lunch rush or a dinner rush. So yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, but just letting you know, introducing or taking action reduces your anxiety. So if you've been stuck because of fear, know this: you're not crazy. You're not weak. You're human, and you are ready for the next level. All right, guys, that was it. Drop a comment. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Let me know what your fears are. Share with each other. Maybe you guys can see somebody else's fear and be like, oh man, I can definitely relate to that, and that might make you feel better and might give you that extra motivation to move forward. But yeah, that's it, guys. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Next episode, we're going to be talking about overnight success. Is it possible, or is it a myth? Who knows? I'll see you on the next one.